With qualifying finished, it's time to remind ourselves of our top three: old-timer, Bottas and Lewis Hamilton. With qualifying wrapped up, we now have our grid line-up for the big race tomorrow. Be sure to join us then for what will no doubt be a fantastic race.
Oh, we can but hope.
The fans really seem to enjoy that. You made it look easy.
Thank you.
Are you feeling confident that you can take your qualifying pace into the race?
I've no doubt our strategy going into the race will put us on the podium.
How did it feel to be racing on home turf?
Fantastic. This track has the best fans.
How do you feel about this team's performance this season?
I've been really impressed with them. You can see how hard they're working.
The regulation changes for next season have been announced. How is your team going to cope with the transition?
We're already hard at work on next season's upgrades.
Great. Well, that's everything.
I don't even know what next year's upgrades are going to be. Right, moving on. I hate this track. It's literally hometown, well, almost hometown. Austin, Texas, Circuit of the Americas, United States Grand Prix. But it's still a really annoying track. There's only two places you can really pass on it unless you have the other guy cooperating with you.
Welcome once again then to the United States Grand Prix here in the magnificent city of Austin. It was here in 2018 that Kimi Räikkönen delighted the world by winning for the first time in 114 races. There's always a record to be broken, so what, I wonder, is in store for us today? It's the Circuit of the Americas then, situated 14 miles outside the great city of Austin. This is a 3.6-mile lap with 20 corners, 10 each to the left and to the right, and top speeds of around 200 miles per hour. Overtaking opportunities are available into turns 1 and 12, especially with that rear wing DRS wide open.
Yeah, and that's
with me
the
today, of course, is Anthony Davidson.
opportunities.
Let's start with Nikita Mazepin. There's a new gearbox in the back of that car, which means a grid penalty, and hopefully some excitement as they make their way through the field.
Well, at the end of the day, it's always better to take some pain now than parking it up halfway through the Grand Prix. Let's just hope they can put that new gearbox to good use and get the results they're looking for.
Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Old-timer lines up on pole position, and it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Perez, Lando Norris, and Leclerc. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Giovinazzi, Räikkönen, Russell, and Carlos
My God,
Sainz.
half the
Stroll,
field.
Latifi, Daniel Ricciardo, they've taken a grid penalty, and Mick Schumacher. Fernando Alonso, Gelael, Pierre Gasly, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty, and Esteban Ocon. Vettel, Tsunoda, Mazepin, and Max Verstappen completes the grid. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track and get this Grand Prix underway.
My God, more than half the field taking
Okay,
grid
I know it's
penalties
your
this
home Grand
race.
Prix, but treat it like any other race. Don't take unnecessary risks.
Race strats, softs to hards, that's fine. Well, no, it's not fine. Softs are pretty much the only tire I can get around this track on, so once we go on to the hards, it's going to be even more misery than before. But there's jack shit to be done about it. Please let me not fuck up the start like I usually do. I never can find the pace, the rhythm on those curves. They are absolutely hateful. Damn it. No wing damage, but that's pure luck that it wasn't. I must have really scared Perez off. He's already nearly 2 seconds back. Damn, went too deep.
Great maneuver. You made it look easy.
You get off balance in those S's and you lose mucho time. Bottas is right back on my ass now.
No issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them. Affirmative. Medium tyres at the next stop.
One more lap. I'm giving up massive amounts of time to people behind, but the Mercedes team appears to be doing a two-stop. I'm attempting a soft to medium one-stop. I have to get 16 laps on a high wear track on these mediums, but I think it can be done.
Complete. Go now.
That was a shitty stop, though.
Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross over into the track.
Bottas is ahead of me. HamHam is right on my ass with DRS. Yeah, I screwed up in that turn, and HamHam's coming by.
Good job. That was the fastest lap of the race so far.
Oh, is that a lockup from Sir Lewis? Could those soft tires be about to go off? As if I didn't hope.
Nice move. Good job.
Oh, somebody's out.
The track is clear. Green flag.
Oh, Checo's out. So sad.
A new strategy is available on the MFD. Understood. Copy that. Excellent work, very well done. Let's hold on to this now, first place.
Okay, everybody's done with their pit stops. It's this to the end, unless there's a safety car or some shit. And the closer we get to the end, the less likely a safety car becomes.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the softs.
I said no! Damn it. Keep your eyes off the chat, Overstreet.
Yellow flag.
Yellow flag? What the hell?
Someone's come off ahead of you. There's a yellow flag ahead.
Oh God, it's my teammate.
Okay, clear.
Sean, God damn it. And that sort of thing is why he's not getting a ride in Season 2. Damn it, no DRS.
This is your final lap of the race. We've only got 2 laps of fuel left.
What's happened to Verstappen? I mean, yes, he had a huge grid penalty, but he should have enough speed to come up through the pack. Absolutely awesome. Just amazing. Well done.
A show-stopping performance from the 3 drivers approaching the podium right now. It's been an interesting Grand Prix, that's for sure. It wasn't the best weekend for our championship leader, and their advantage at the top has been reduced. Let's have a quick look at how the drivers' standings have changed. Some amazing talent out on the track today, but Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
Often my go-to would be a driver who's managed to pull off an especially impressive feat during the race. However, in this instance, I was more impressed by Max Verstappen's solid, clean driving throughout the event.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. No change in the top spot, but with today's points, their hold on the lead is getting weaker. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time? Be sure to join us again as we continue to bring you the latest excitement in Formula One.
Okay, let me go ahead and bring up my webcam, big size a bit, and then tilt it down. There's the wheel. I'm using a Logitech 29, I think it is. Yeah, the G29, the PlayStation 1, but it also works for PC. These are 50% races. My AI is at 65 because the race you just watched was, I think, the first one all season I didn't have at least one spin out. If I could keep myself from spinning out, my setting would be closer to 80 on the AI. That would be closer to my pace. But I don't find it fun to keep tootling along with Mazepin and Schumacher and the Alfa Romeos. So I nerfed the AI a bit more than I probably should in order to have competitive racing. And sometimes, like this one, I end up with a blowout. Very unexpected one, too, because, God, I hate this track.
The fans really seem to enjoy that. You made it look easy.
It wasn't.
You had a lot of fans out there today. Does the pressure get to you when you're back home?
The pressure pushes you to try harder. Home fans are the best.
You're breaking all expectations. What's your secret?
There's no secret. It's about having a great team and car.
You performed better than last weekend. What changed?
A few tweaks to the aerodynamics. It really helped me today.
It looks like you're schooling your rivals at the moment.
Well, we've both learned from each other. This rivalry is really pushing us both.
Appreciate your time.
Now, I was in the doghouse in this rivalry 2 races ago, And now I've just pulled ahead. Oh, we're just short of level 15 Team Acclaim. When we hit level 15, we get... Oh, we got it! We got it! That means we get another sponsor for the car. Oh, great. And, of course, yet more equipment failures. R&D... If I could fire the R&D team, I would. Changes to regulations announced, and oh my god. Everything except Aero is getting nerfed. Supplier upgrade has arrived. We got all sorts of good stuff for the Ferrari engine. Excellent. Alright. Chassis has been the killer for us. That's where we've been worst behind, so everything in chassis gets protected until we run out of points. And that's as far as we can get. Fortunately, we have 5 races left to get more development points to protect everything else. Cassandra, achieve a top 4 finish during the race. I'm really out-driving the car, partly because of the AI nerf I mentioned earlier. So that's not something I can count on. Score 15 Constructors' Championship points. That means finish on the podium. Again, not something I can count on. Answer at least 4 interview questions during a race weekend. That is almost totally random. But it's a huge bonus, and I think we're going to go ahead and go with them. Alright. Messages. High cash balance. Well, that's nice. The thing is, I want to reserve $6 million for whoever we sign to replace Gelael. And we are replacing Gelael at the end of this season. Because he's been damn near useless. Let's go ahead and bump up the personnel stuff. Because we don't give a damn about Gelael, but we do want the second season second seat driver to actually be good. Now, since I've got a moment, I want to bring up something. That squiggle you see on the right-hand side is the layout of the Mexican Grand Prix circuit. It's got 2 gigantic straights and a 3rd shorter one, but it's also got some excruciatingly tight corners, especially just before the finish line. This squiggle right down here is actually part of a stadium, specifically built for auto racing. So for the 3rd sector, I would love to have a high downforce track, high downforce car setup, but because of these long straights, if I want to be at all competitive, it's going to have to be with a low downforce setup. God help me.
That lap was no good. We need you to improve on that. Program complete and a job well done. We got some excellent data with that run.
Okay, I can't do the low downforce. I'm all over the place with that.
So come on back to the garage and I can talk you through the numbers.
In F1 2020, you actually got to see those numbers. Here, you don't.
And with all the cars now over the line, let's see our top 3 again. Verstappen, Sainz, and Lando Norris. Sadly, it's time to say goodbye as free practice is over. However, we'll be back shortly for more Formula One action.
That's really not good. So where do we end up, and is it worth taking the penalty? Okay, we're P12. That's far enough forward to where I don't really want to throw it away. And yet... No, I take it back. We will go to the back of the grid. Alright, we're taking our components, and And I think those components will be enough to get us through it the rest of the year. And they'll also put us at the very back of the grid.
Welcome along to the most populous city in North America, and home now to the Mexico City Grand Prix. It's a sellout crowd as usual here at one of the shortest circuits on the Formula One calendar. So who, I wonder, will the crowd cheer on today to the top step of the podium? We're a long way above sea level here in Mexico today, which could pose some cooling issues for the cars as they make their way around this 2.6-mile lap. 17 corners with top speeds in excess of 220 miles per hour, and watch out for potential overtaking into turns 1 and 4. And as always, a man with plenty of racing experience joins me in the commentary box. Today it's Anthony Davidson. Tell me, Ant, you're no stranger to surviving the melee of turn 1. So how do you keep out of trouble when there's so much going on around you?
There are three main things to worry about there, Crofty. Positioning, awareness and discipline. First, you have to put your car in a bit of space and make sure you have room to react to what the others are doing. Then you have to watch your mirrors and listen to the sounds around you to get a sense of where everyone is. And finally, just don't get too greedy. Just because a gap exists doesn't always mean you should go for it.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Valtteri Bottas lines up on pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Leclerc, Norris, Sergio Perez, and Fernando Alonso, Gasly, Ocon, Tsunoda, and Sebastian Vettel. Sainz, they've taken a grid penalty. Raikkonen, Max Verstappen and Stroll, Russell, Giovinazzi, Nikita Mazepin and Nicholas Latifi. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Gelael, Mick Schumacher, Ricciardo, they've taken a grid penalty, and Oldtimer. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out. Then let's see who can prevail today.
My God, my rival and I are sharing the back row. Okay, it's a two-stopper no matter what. Going medium, soft, softs. That suits me fine. I'm not expecting points this go around. We're just going to try to get through the race and finish ahead of, what's his face? Danny the Rick. All right, here we go. Stay out of trouble early on. Whoa. Okay, that was a shitty first lap all around, I think.
DRS will be enabled this lap. You can use it when within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
Thank you, Sean. Well, I'm going to have plenty of clear air ahead of me now.
We don't currently have the data for that request.
Shifting to a one-stop strat.
Check your MFD for a new strategy option.
No!
Copy that. Copy that. Cards for next box.
That's better. Wow, the overtake is draining fast when I engage it. Really fucking fast.
Our gap to the car in front is 2.9 seconds.
Danny the Rick is trying to get past me. He will up here. Damn it. He pitted and he's on better tires. I was hoping to keep in touch with him and get DRS, but that didn't happen, obviously.
We're trailing our teammate by 1.6 seconds.
Well, I'm catching up to him. That's something. My teammate, not to Ricardo.
You're increasing the gap on the car behind by 0.5 per lap. We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the hards.
was a huge-ass cut, and you're still not dinging me for it.
We're boxing this lap. Give us the best in lap you can. Sean is coming in for his stop.
Alright. Onto the hards and hope and pray they go the distance. 20 laps, short track they ought to. Of course, they're also going to be miserable to drive on, but
Release, release.
that's the strategy I've got to work with.
Up to speed now. Let's get some heat into those tyres. Gap to car in front is 3.2 seconds. Gap to teammate behind is 4.6 seconds. Caution, caution.
Safety car. Am I so lucky? No, Raikkonen just blowing up.
Green flag. Okay, some information on Raikkonen. They're retiring from the race.
I really don't think I'm catching Ricardo.
Our gap to the car in front is 2.0 seconds. Some information on Giovinazzi. They have some kind of mechanical problem.
Yeah, they have a mechanical problem. He's driving an Alfa Romeo.
Okay, you're catching the car ahead, but remember, we need to get to the end of the race on these tyres. Gap to teammate behind is 33.0 seconds. Yellow flag. Someone's come off ahead of you. There's a yellow flag ahead.
That could have gone so very badly. 1 point, 1 position out of the points. But it's 1 position I don't see a way I'm going to get.
The gap to the car ahead is 2.8 seconds.
Yeah, I know he's pulling away from me.
Some information on Stroll. They seem to have an issue.
Unfortunately, they're behind me. And the fireworks go off. But they're not for me. They're for Sir Lewis HamHam.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
Is it going to be that kind of night, darling, that we need rubbers? Driver of the day, Danny the Rick. Yeah, I never could catch up to him.
So, another fantastic victory for the Silver Arrows. Let's see how the driver standings have changed. Well, the gap at the top of the championship has been cut down after a difficult race today for our championship leader. After an incredible day of racing, who was your driver of the day, Ant?
Well, Crofty, Daniel Ricciardo would have to be my driver of the day. It's less about what he did right, but how little he did wrong. Perfect driving.
Let's move on to the constructors. It was a tough race for our championship leaders who lose ground at the top of the table. It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action. I can't wait to see what's next.
And the annoying thing is, just looking at the timetables, I lost 18 seconds to that spin out from the nudge from my teammate when I was trying to get around him. And that 18 seconds is a lot more than the difference between me and Ricciardo. Ricciardo was 10.5 seconds ahead of me for the entire race. Now, granted, my fastest lap was way off of anybody is in front of me except Alonso. The flat fact of the matter is I'm not good at this track. Even doing the one stop, and Vettel and I were the only ones on the one stop. The reason he couldn't catch up to me on soft tires was those soft tires were ragged out by the end, no question. Yeah, I was alongside him. He didn't give me any space. He slammed the door on me. And that is something a teammate should not do, even if they've already been told they're fired.
Great work out there today. Let's have your thoughts. Your team must be ecstatic with how you're performing.
Maybe, but you can't get complacent.
Do you think this team are performing as well as they could do?
They're hard workers, always improving and learning from their mistakes.
It looks like you've invested heavily in the development of new parts.
The chassis has really benefited. The team has worked wonders.
Great. Well, that's everything.
I think there was only 3 questions. Yeah, and Ricciardo has gained back the lead in the rivalry here with 2 races to go. Gelael's acclaim dropped. Did you see that? Powertrain and durability morale is normal. Aerodynamics and chassis still high. So we've got everything in chassis and powertrain adapted for the new rules change. So all that's left is durability. And let's see here. Yeah, we'll cover that easily in the last 4 races. Brazil. We have 4 tracks left. Brazil, I'm confident in. Australia, somewhat confident in. Saudi Arabia and Abu Dhabi, not confident in the least. Max Verstappen was in the lead here by miles and miles, but the last few races, Well, you see, he DNF'd in the first 2 races, and then he had a gigantic run of podiums up until Belgium. He's had a couple of wins and a second since then, but he's also had a lot of lower positions. And so Bottas is kind of catching up to him. So yeah, coming into the last 4 races, if Verstappen doesn't get a win, that might be a race for the championship between him and Bottas. Nobody else is in the race. It's either one of the two. And granted, 33 points with 4 races to go is still a massive lead. But Bottas has been gaining pretty strongly. But we're not a part of that. I've got 138 points to my name, which wouldn't have been enough to get into the constructor standings, even if I had a partner doing just as well. And my partner, you might notice, Sean Gelael of Indonesia, has given me a grand total of a whopping 0 championship points.